Welcome back. I'm Blessinus, and this is Black Mesa. So, last time we got to see the surface, and all we got was a bullet-riddled t-shirt.
I've killed 12 dumbass scientists, and not one of them's fought back. Sucks.
Wow. Sorry you're not having fun, buddies.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project. Judging by your hazard suit, I'd say you were part of what went wrong. Isn't that right?
Maybe.
If anyone can end this catastrophe, it's the science team in the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base. With the transit system out, I couldn't tell you how to get there. But there's an old decommissioned rail system somewhere through here beyond the silo complex. If you can make it through the rocket test labs, you might be able to worm your way through the old tunnels to track down whatever is left of the Lambda team. You can trust them. You can trust all of us.
That's encouraging. And yes, Black Mesa used to be a rocket testing facility back during the Cold War.
You smell what I smell?
I smell adventure ahead. Of course, there's always a little bit of travel between chapters. And this one is, well, fairly short. Although the meat and potatoes of this chapter still won't be accessible until we've done a little bit of exploration.
Power 95%.
You see, one of the other things about this area is that since it's decommissioned and all, it's now a dumping ground for all the old stuff that they don't need anymore. I believe that's all mentioned in the manual. Like, I remember this detail quite vividly from when I played the original Half-Life. So, there are two ways we can proceed here. Opening that door unlocks an elevator, but if we go over here to this side and we head up this ladder anytime now, yep, there's a duct. Naturally. I hope you never get tired of my religious destruction of crates. It's very important. Yes. Taking the vent path gives us a very nice cache of grenades. Or is it cache? I don't know, and it's gonna start bothering me.
Department of Emergency Services. At 9:47 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, a disaster of unknown type has occurred at the Black Mesa Research Facility, causing significant damage and failure to various power and communication systems in the surrounding areas. This message message replaces the previous alert, which expired at 12:01 p.m. Mountain Standard Time this afternoon. A full quarantine has been issued for the Black Mesa area. In the interest of public safety, all residents within a 150-mile radius of Black Mesa, New Mexico, are advised to evacuate the area immediately. Take only essential supplies and a battery-powered radio. Do not use more than one vehicle for traveling. Follow local evacuation routes, which have been marked by local authorities. If you are within the evacuation area, have transportation.
So, at the very least, no aliens are happening. That's good. But there might be a risk of biological contamination to the wider area. So, the cart. It's fairly self-explanatory. Once you activate it, you either use forward in order to speed it up, or backward in order to slow it down. And naturally, carts can also run in reverse. We'll have more time to play around with these things in the near future, but for now, all we need to do is bring this one forward until we reach our final and rather sudden destination. Hello.
Warning. Hazardous radiation levels detected.
Yeah, well, we're near sources of radiation, or obviously biological contaminants. Then our Geiger counter will go off, and our view screen will start to get a little bit fuzzy. Obviously getting fuzzier the closer we are to the source of the contamination. And naturally, while our suit does provide a modicum of protection, dipping your feet in glowing green waste is still, not the best use of your time. I might have mentioned that, this area is being used to just dump whatever they don't need. Well, that includes all the hazardous waste that, comes with the territory of performing very questionable experiments. I mean, good grief. Even before the Black Mesa disaster happened, this place was a powder keg waiting to go off. Frankly, it's just fortunate that all the people on site didn't turn into mutants. Although I guess, having psychic powers or something like that would be pretty cool.
Power level is 100%.
Oy vey.
Hazardous chemical detected.
Can you just think of how much waste that is? Black Mesa's been around for a while, of course, but oy vey. This is just... How does anyone drink the water in the Black Mesa area without immediately becoming sick? Anyway, there's a little platform section we can do here, which brings us around in order to get a little bit of power and health. Just so we can top off before we reach the next section. Our actual goal is that elevator in the center, which despite, being submerged in radioactive goo, is still perfectly functional. Surprisingly so, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, Cold War era technology is somehow more sturdy than the modern stuff we have now. I'm not going to think about it too hard. Up we go. Yeah, a whole concentration of hound eyes is actually pretty deadly. Like, they don't seem to be that scary when it's just one or two of them, but when a whole lot of them are together, they can sort of change shockwaves together and just keep on knocking you around. If I wasn't playing on normal difficulty, well, what this game calls normal difficulty, it's actually the lowest difficulty possible, then I probably would have had a huge chunk of my armor taken out in that confrontation. Yeah, the 3 difficulty levels in this game are normal, Black Mesa, and hard. And hard actually adds a whole bunch of different wrinkles that I should show off, but it's honestly a little bit too difficult for me. Like, I'm gonna be frank here, I am not that great at this game.
Must fire the rocket engine. Destroy the damn thing before it gets any larger.
Yep, that definitely is a cough followed by death. Now, there's actually a secret you can get up here. Like, if you're patient enough when you're being pulled up by the barnacle, then you can aim while you're falling back down and, you know, charge up your health and your armor. Holy moly. We got ourselves a bit of an infestation here. These are called the tentacles. And you know why? Because they're tentacles. Looks like there was a rocket ignition system that they were trying to activate in order to destroy these things, but as you can see, we got no fuel, we got no oxygen, and the power is off, so we're gonna have to deal with that.
Hey, keep quiet. This thing hears us. Some scientists snuck down to the generator to get the rocket. We're gonna try to make a break for the fuel packets. You with us?
I mean, sure, why not? So, the tentacles are attracted to noise. And it just so happens that they give us a bunch of explosives. You see what has to be done here. Oh, what's this idiot doing? Well, not much anymore. So yes, the tentacles are attracted to all sources of noise. So the basic idea is that when you go down these noisy elevators, you have to distract them somehow using sources of louder noise. Now the thing that I'm a bit confused about here is that in the original Half-Life, the way that you used satchel charges was that you threw one and then the left click would blow up the one that you threw. Whereas here, left click throws a satchel charge and then right click explodes all the satchel charges currently deployed. Like so. That's a close one. So, first order of business, we need to get the oxy fuel going. Yeah, if it doesn't have a green light, then you can't actually open it from this side. This is actually a shortcut that will become available later on. But for the time being, all we can do is go down. Oh, hey, I didn't even see you there. So, how do we get down there? Can you see it? I couldn't for a while, but you see, there's actually a hidden ladder on one of these shafts. And unlike the usual sources of indication, this one isn't conveniently highlighted. In fact, it's actually hidden by these barrels here. How very naughty of them. And speaking of naughty, look at this bit of a trap they laid out for us here. But oh well. A double barrel blast from a shotgun will usually take these bullsquid things down. They're just so wide that the shotgun hits them with every single pellet, so it's pretty much the weapon of choice for these encounters. It's spooky down here, isn't it? Like, as opposed to the colorful locations we've been in before, the maintenance tunnels, in order to set up all the different components, are rather dingy, honestly. I guess it's because everything is, you know, a little bit broken down, a little bit rusted, kind of mothballed in general. Well, that guy jumped back quite a ways. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Anyway, here's a giant wind turbine. Yep. Only way down is into the fan. I don't really like the looks of this at all. Yeah, that's correct. The manual activation for the fan leaves you underneath the fan as it's starting up. I really hope that whoever turns this thing on isn't a slow scientist. Once activated, you realize that this fan is actually a very powerful source of propulsion. Almost ridiculously so. Yeah, just barely can't make it. In fact, the only vent that's high enough for us is this one, indicated by the golden light, instead of the red light. You see? It all works out like that. And where are we now, I wonder? Believe it or not, this is actually the control center for the oxygen fuel mixture.
Power 75%.
All we have to do is activate these two devices here through the turn of a valve. And, well, it's that same puzzle again. You find a valve handle, you attach a valve handle. They really think they're being so clever with this, don't they? And well, here we go. This whole assembly here is completely just set dressing. And actually this whole area here is boarded up with different boxes, so yeah, you'll see me try to find alternative paths, but it all ends up being a little bit pointless. So why didn't I cut it out? I don't know. And my, if this isn't familiar. Yep, we're back. And stage 1 of 2 is finished. Now all that's left is to turn on the power. Now we can go back into the tentacle room, but there's actually an easier way to get to the next stage. Yep, just drop on down. They sure seem happy to see us, don't they? You know, I really do like the fact that they kept in the enemies exploding into jibs. That's something that was in the original Half-Life, but was kind of discarded for Half-Life 2 and onwards. A lot of enemies in Half-Life 2 just kind of get sent flying in a ragdoll-y manner. Which is, while entertaining on its own, not quite as viscerally satisfying. I mean, check this out. Chunky. Real barnacle palooza around here.
Is 100%.
I actually didn't have to do that. They're already dead. The security guard presumably had a real awesome battle with them, where somehow he died in the attempt. I don't know what happened. Now this here's a bit of a dirty trick. With your back against the wall, metaphorically speaking, these things are going to try to shockwave at you. And it can be a bit of a harsh lesson if you're caught unawares. Speaking of which... yeah. Don't let your guard down just because you're in an elevator. Hey there, did you get splashed with corrosive chemicals?
Expects me to go start up the generator. Smithers went down there and never came back.
Alrighty, well, I guess I'll have to find old man Smithers. This is the kind of thing that can trip you up a little bit until you just kind of try things. But I guess that's why they put the power cell in this airlock, so that you would actually walk into it, and then you would realize, oh, this is actually the right way to go. There's a barnacle there, by the way. Did you see it? I didn't until it was too late. Thanks to the sort of really blah color scheme of this place, it's easy to not see anything that's brown or gray or tan or stuff like that, you know? Like, beyond the gimmick of the tentacles in the center room, Blast Pit is actually not really what you call a treat for the eyes.
Hazardous chemical detected.
I mean, granted, it has a really cool sequence at the end. Hi, Smithers.
I'm not moving until the situation is drastically improved. Now go away, and don't tell anyone I'm here!
Yeah, sure, I guess not. Though, if you're waiting for the situation to improve, you might be there for a while. I feel like I've used that joke before. Anywho. can tell you've done the right thing because the music changes.
Excellent. Someone has restored all power. We'll have the engine up again in no time.
Yeah, someone has to go this way now. I hope you're good at climbing, buddy.
Power level is 100%.
I like this music. It's sort of ethereal. And unfortunately, changing zones, turns it off. What a pity. But hey, there's a new song that's coming up. And in fact, that's going to be it for the rest of the update. So, I'll see you guys later on.